Murph, we haven't done this for a long time. That was fun.
I, that music just, I mean, if that doesn't get your heart racing, I don't know what does.
Oh my good. Hey guys, welcome. We're going to try to do something a little bit different here this time. We have not taken full advantage of our audio capabilities, or video capabilities, I should say, for obvious reasons. You can see me. I still need a haircut. Murph needs some of my hair, so I'm doing donor hair for Murph. I'm cutting it. You can see it's kind of the same color.
Keep it up. I will polish this and blind you.
So we're starting to get some more folks. Hey guys, we're trying this out. So if you got some comments, type them in there. I think you can do it in there. We'll see some of these things pop up. We'll answer them. Here's the reason we're doing this today. We have got the only interview of the lead investigator of the Route 91 Harvest Country Music Festival, the largest U.S. mass shooting in history on October 1st, 2017. Ken Mead came to us, Murph, by way of.
Bruce Gentner, a friend of ours who's a retired Las Vegas police officer. Just so happens that Bruce and Ken are cousins. When I asked Bruce, hey, you know anybody that was investigating that? He said, how about my cousin? He was the lead investigator. So this worked out perfect.
Yep. So what worked out perfect too is two things. As we did with Michael Cuyaza with the Covenant school shooting, he had a lot of restrictions on what he could and couldn't say. Even though they've been out briefing law enforcement, briefing the public is a different thing. Same thing here with Ken Mead, Murph. He had to retire from Las Vegas Metro, and he had a 2 week window maybe before he started working for the federal government. Now it's on his LinkedIn. I don't want to give it away, but if you go to his LinkedIn, you'll find out. So he has been briefing law enforcement, but this is the only interview he's ever given to the public on the investigation into the case. There's the response, and then there's the investigation.
That's right. And you know what? This is one of our longer versions. We used to do these when we first started Game of Crimes. We went for as long as it took. And through requests from our listeners, we cut it down to 60 to 90-minute interviews. We break it up into two sessions. But there are events that take place that you cannot cover in 90 minutes. And the Mandalay Bay shooting, and Ken also talks about the most recent UNLV shooting, which is December 2023. There's no way we could cover that in even 2 hours. So what we did is we did pretty much close to 4 hours talking to Ken, and we've divided this into four different episodes over a 2 week period. And I believe the first one came out today. Is that right, Morgan?
Yep. Episode 1 today, episode 2 tomorrow. I should say part 2 tomorrow, part
Mm-hmm.
3 next Monday, part 4 next Tuesday. And by the way, the other one, we went this long with Michael Martinez. We went this long with Dave Reichert talking about the Green River Killer. I mean, there are some things, like you say, so important. Real quick, hey, before we get too far, like I said, I'm just working on this stuff. So hey, wanted to do a quick thing. If you want to help us out, you want to join us, go over to patreon.com/Game of Crimes. We've got a lot of content there. In fact, one of the things we were just asked to review, Murph, and we saw that on our Facebook fan page, Game of Crimes fans, was to talk about Griselda, uh, the new Netflix series that I don't. We'll talk about it later, but my quick initial read, we got through 4 episodes, got to finish the last two, but it's not quite, it's same people. I saw Eric Newman, saw him on
Yep.
there, but for some reason, it just doesn't seem to be the same treatment they gave Pablo. Pablo was a rotten son of a bitch. And so far, what I've seen here, it's like, she's kind of bad, but it's like, I think they're pulling punches.
Well, remember Christy Schiller? She introduced us to a lot of our canine officers that we've had on Game of Crimes here. She has Canines for Cops and Canines for Kids. Lives down in Texas. She texted me the other night, the day it came out, and she said, "Have you seen this yet? My husband and I just watched all 6 episodes
Oh my
back to
God.
back." And I told her, I said, "Look, I've got my 7-year-old granddaughter here. I'm not going to put this on TV while she's here. It's too violent." She said, "It's too violent for a 50-year-old to watch," but she loved it. So, and my wife and we're going to start watching it today or tonight.
Yeah. We'll catch up on that. So we kind of say that that's a lot of stuff you'll see over there, but kind of get back to talking with Ken. Ken was very interesting. Like, we had never met Ken before, so we do a little pre-call. We get to know each other, bust each other's chops, which is what you do. And let me tell you, Murph, just come out of the gate. He is, you don't want to overuse. Well, he's intelligent. It sounds like you're being, you're just giving platitudes.
Like
And
you're
no,
being patronizing, and we're not in this
no.
case.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you very much. Patreon. Should have figured it out from Patreon.
I'm here.
Patreonizing.
I'm
Patronizing.
here for you, brother. I'm here
Yo,
for you.
yo, baby. Yo, baby. By the way, Murph is somewhere down near the beach. That's why you see he's got just one poster of
Yeah.
Narcos.
There was only, I'm in an extra bedroom and there was only one thing hanging in the wall. And believe me, you don't want to see it. It looks like a 6-year-old might have painted it. But we're in Satellite Beach, Florida. Watched the launch last night, right out on the beach. Beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful night. But I apologize for the background. It's not as exciting as Morgan's is or the one I have in my home office. But you know what? Still does a job, and you are important enough for us to take time out of our vacation, our regular schedules, to talk to you about things like this.
Yeah, and so we're interested to see how this pops up, how this works, get some interaction with folks. Going to have to fine tune this because this is a little program called Ecamm, so it allows us to broadcast to multiple things simultaneously. So we'll see how it goes. But here, let's just kind of finish talking. We don't want to take too long, but we wanted to share this because we really want to get the information out about this. There is so much. I watched the one on Fox streaming that was just recently done. It was about a 90-minute deal. I've seen some of the others. And I got to tell you, the one thing that ticks me off more than anything else, and I'm going to be good because I don't know who's listening, so I'm not going to drop any F-bombs. I'm going to keep this PG rated, let's say. PG
Okay.
13, maybe. All right. But the frickin' idiots who come on and get airtime, and I'm embarrassed that anybody allows people like this airtime. Well, I don't have any evidence, but I think.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Well, I mean, how many Monday morning quarterbacks do we have today after watching the shocking games last night? Um, that's the thing. Everybody. You hate to say everybody's. It's just like buttholes. Everybody's got one, but that's the truth. And people now, because of social media, and I mean, we're taking advantage of it right here today, talking to you. People feel the need to express their opinion without having any of the facts. And if you've listened to our show, you hear Morgan and I talk all the time. Don't accept what we say as the gospel. Go do your own research, and then you, as an intelligent person, you make up your own mind what's right and what's wrong. Because the crap you hear on the media, it's slanted towards whether it's left or right. Just could you not just tell me what the news is and let me decide what I think about the news? And it seems like impossible to happen today. But it's the same thing with this show. And when Javier and I are out on the speaking trail, we challenge our audiences the same way. Don't accept what we say as the truth. Go do your research. But if you do that research, you'll find out we are telling the truth. And that's what Game of Crimes is all about, is telling the truth, bringing the heroes in here to tell their own stories, not Morgan and Murph reading about it and then trying to tell you what happened. We bring the actual people that experienced in here. They tell you the true story.
And just not to put too fine a point on it, but it's like I'm working on book 2 right now, and it involves Iran. It's the book series that I'm writing. But it's one of those things. Too many people go to Wikipedia. They let somebody else do the thinking for them instead of doing the study. And I did the hard stuff. I mean, it's like you were talking about. This was produced for Special Operations Command SOCOM by a research group. It's called a Directed Study of Iran. Getting in and reading about everything from the president to the Ministry of Defense and Armed Forces Logistics, the head of judiciary, informal centers of influence. I mean, this goes into details, backstop with lots of stuff. It gets into Hamas, Hezbollah, a lot of the things that are valid today. Yeah, that's what we say. You got to do your research. You wouldn't want to put something out there. The reason we're doing that and coming back to this is, to your point, we could have just read stuff about this, but Ken Mead has got the most unique insight of anybody, because while everybody else, because there's two aspects to it. Like I said, there's the response to the shooting, and then there's the investigation of it. Ken led the investigation, and Murph, I got to tell you, one of the things that's hard to do as cops, because everybody wants to run to the sound of gunfire. But it was that lesson I learned from listening to one of the firefighters of the fire chiefs back in the original World Trade Center bombing back in 1993. He was standing outside. He was a battalion chief, I think, or something. But people said, why aren't you going inside to help people? He said, my value is staying out here and coordinating the entire response. If I go in, I'm another body. And that's Ken's. He could have gone down there and been another body down there. But you do it. But he also knew, but he said, look, somebody's going to have to wrangle this big, what it is. It's like, Murph, think about this. It's like cooking up a bunch of spaghetti and just dumping it on a table and say, okay, go figure it out.
And when I was a uniformed cop, I was guilty of that. I mean, there were times when the call came in, it was a hot call. You wanted to get to the scene. You wanted to see what you could do without realizing up here that, you know what, let's go in slowly and see who's trying to get away from the scene. things like that. And in this case, you got Ken Mead, who's assigned to the Joint Terrorism Task Force in Las Vegas with the FBI, has a great experience. Ken's got a Bachelor of Arts degrees in abnormal psychology, a master's in criminal justice, and he's got postgraduate certifications in forensic psychology. He knows about terrorism. That's his specialty. That's why Vegas PD sent him over there. And the smartest decision he could have ever made was not going to the site, because there's already hundreds of officers there. They're going to take care of business. You got SWAT rolling in. That's who you want, because they're equipped and they're trained, especially trained to handle active shooter situations. You need somebody to go into the control center and say, man, I know this is going to be a shit show, but somebody's got to do it, so let's get started. And that's exactly what Ken did. And you'll hear on the podcast, when you hear his interview, we give him credit a couple times about that. I think we did it on the intro and outro as well as during the actual interview. But that's the best decision he could have made. And here's the other thing about Ken. He retired in December, and just a few days before he retired from Vegas PD, and he's got this new job lined up. He's made it. I think he was a cop for, was it 26 years? 26-year veteran of Las Vegas Police Department. Well, the UNLV, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas campus college, they have a shooter, active shooter. Now, Ken's got a couple days to go before he's done. He'll tell you, if I get killed in this, I'm going to be brought back to life and my family will kill me again.
Yeah.
But that's what professionals do. That's what experienced law enforcement professionals do. Just so proud of his actions, everything he brought to the table in Vegas, the citizens in the county there in the metropolitan Las Vegas area. You guys lost a true asset the day that Ken Mead retired. But just like we say on our show, just because we retire doesn't mean that our oaths expire. And you know what? Like Morgan said here at the very beginning, Ken is moving right back into public service. Go to LinkedIn, check him out there. You'll find out what he's doing. We don't want to spoil anything for him, but just a true American hero that I bet you've never heard of. I bet you've never heard of until you came on Game of Crimes. Listen to his interview, and you'll find out what all of our heroes are about.
Well, I got to tell you, Murph, the other thing, too, a couple things I'm impressed about it. So I have it streaming to my Facebook page. It's actually doing subtitles in real time. So that's pretty...
As we speak?
Well, was it going to do it based on sign language? I don't know.
That's pretty cool. Where did you find that at?
No, it's going to my Facebook page. So I'll show you later.
Oh.
But when we get this, I think part of what a lot of this does now with the use of AI and stuff, it does real-time translation. Hey, but to play off what you were saying there, though, too, because... getting ready to publish the episode, I went and did some image searching and stuff, trying to pull down some stuff. This is why I said very few people know who Ken is. And I'll tell you, here's the other thing. This is very much reminds me of when Javi got sent by the ambassador, was basically not even voluntold. He was ordered to go to Miami and meet with the, quote, informant who had everything figured out. And while he's in Miami, shocker, folks, spoiler, Pablo's dead. Pablo gets killed. Murph shows up wearing his Target shirt.
My red polo.
Your red polo. And as Javi's on the plane back, nobody has a clue that he's half of the team from DEA that's been tracking Pablo all these years. All of these news people. Same thing with Ken. He could walk down the street, worst mass shooting in United States history, and nobody's going to have a clue that this is the guy who led the investigation. And some people listen to it and go, because we've had this happen before too. It's like when we had Jack Barsky on, the KGB, what's called illegal spy in the United States. Some people said, well, he sounds pretty arrogant, like he was the only one uniquely qualified. You don't want shrinking violets when you're going to be a spy, and you don't want shrinking violets who are going to lead the largest investigation of something like this. So I like the way Ken said, hey, I just took over. I said, I'm going to do this. I had the skills, I had the capability, because you want that kind of confidence. But I tell you, one of the things I liked, Murph, and we'll finish up here in just a couple minutes, folks. But you got to listen to the podcast. I don't want to give away too much stuff early on, but you have all of these conspiracy theories about there was more than one shooter going on. There's gunfire going on from more than one room. The girlfriend knew. How could he have got all those things in there unless he had somebody else coming up there to help him? I mean, all of these conspiracy theories, Ken takes them down one by one. And what does he take them down with? With facts, with evidence, and with interviews of the people involved. Not, to your point, I can get on Twitter, now known as X, how many experts are on there? I mean, well, I don't have any facts, but I'm an expert on this because it's Monday morning. There's only
Yeah.
one expert in this investigation, and that's Ken.
Yeah. People come on with their opinions. Well, I watched CNN over the weekend, or I watched Fox, or whatever your favorite news channel is. And you base that off of what one person tells you, and all of a sudden that becomes fact. That's not fact, ladies and gentlemen. What Ken also displayed in this is an infinite amount of patience. Wait till you talk. Wait till you hear him talk about how many times he interviewed the girlfriend for hours and hours and days
Mm-hmm.
and days. Oh my gosh! And that's what sets that conspiracy theory to the side. I feel 100% sure that had there been a link, he would have found it. He didn't. I mean, they brought in other
Thanks for giving
experts.
away the ending, Murph. I said let's not tell him everything. And here, remind me not to rob a bank with you.
Hey, let me tell you what: the person that cooperates first gets the best deal. I'm gonna spit you out in a heartbeat. I'll tell you right now.
That's right, man. I'm getting the deal. I'm going to the USA. I'm going to the U.S. Attorney. I'm getting the deal, pal.
That's right. That's right. But it's so fascinating. I mean, you'll hear Ken talk about where the Bureau brought in other people that they thought might have more experience than Ken, and sat in on those interviews. And you know what? They said there wasn't a thing they would have changed. So it's just
Interesting.
fantastic.
Quick, interesting point on that too, because a lot of people think that this was an FBI investigation, and it wasn't. It was
Right.
it was led by Las Vegas because they have, like you said, Nevada has excellent statutes on domestic terrorism. And so everything was investigated, even though they had partners. FBI partnered with them on certain
Hmm.
stuff. They when they went to search the guy's house north of Las Vegas, there, they got help there. They had a lot of partners help, but this was led by Las Vegas Metro and was led by Ken. So you guys, so what we'll do, we'd really appreciate it if you guys would share this information. Just go Apple, Spotify, doesn't matter which podcast platform you're on. Just look up Game of Crimes, latest episode 131, part 1 of 4 parts is out there right now for you guys to listen to. And we've broken it up. It's about an hour long each. We didn't do our small town police blotter. There's nothing funny about 58. And I think 2 more people died, Murph. So I think the total number of people that died from this is 60, plus over 800
Horrific.
wounded.
Horrific.
There's a special place in hell for people like this. I mean, we ought to find the guy, dig him up. Anyway, yeah, but to listen to Ken and the way to compartmentalize and the way to just do this work. I mean, yeah, it's 4 hours, it's 4 episodes, but let me tell you what, you're gonna find out stuff nobody else knows because they don't take the time to learn, and you're gonna find it only one place, only one interview this guy has done anywhere for the
Right.
public, and that's right here.
While you're on there, take a look at some of the other episodes on there. Ken's episode is going to be 131. So his will be the 131st episode for Game of Crimes. This is our 3rd year doing this. But look at some of the other folks on there too, because there's people you've never heard of. You may have heard of the incidents that they were involved with, like the Bank of America shooting in Los
Rick
Angeles years and
Massa.
years ago. Yep. We brought one of the SWAT operators in here. The
And
guy.
last time we used this,
Yeah.
Murph, last time we used this platform, I hate to say it, but we brought Rick Massa on. We reviewed the greatest Christmas movie ever made, Die Hard, and we actually had an expert from LAPD. Maintain your reconnoiter. Oh,
Yeah.
nobody ever says that shit.
We're still trying to figure out what it means. But and one of my favorite interviews on here was, you're not going to believe it, this is the guy's real name, Rick Rambo.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what grief he caught going through the police academy? Retired DE agent. You have got to listen to this.
That was another 4-parter.
Yeah, he had to put up with. He was stationed. He went from St. Thomas. He was in the Virgin Islands,
Yeah.
all the way to Alaska. I mean, just heart pounding stories he's got.
And he
And
crossed
that's-
paths with the serial killer. You have to listen to
Yeah.
talk about how he crossed paths with the serial killer up in Alaska.
And it just keeps going and going. It's amazing, the people, and these are our heroes. I mean, we make no bones about it. We're not trying to take any credit for what they do. Morgan and I have a lot of contacts around the world. We're bringing in additional international law enforcement officers to talk to you about different cases, what it's like to be a cop in different places. You can see Morgan now has his attack cat Spudnut up on the screen.
No.
there with him, just in case
Spudnut's
anything goes wrong.
Spudnut's asleep over there. This is the she's the infantry. This is my special forces team. She's light, quick, and can move.
But seriously, come on. And in addition to this, and just so you know, if you haven't listened to us yet, we try to stay very apolitical during our interviews. Now, if you want to hear a little bit more of what we really think, we have Patreon. We have our subscriber channel there. We'll get into a little bit more of politics. We'll give you more of our personal opinions about things. I will warn you right at the beginning, it's explicit because we don't hold back. But if you want to give us a chance over there, there are some unbelievable things that we do on Patreon. One of them I love the most is we do a Q&A with our listeners, with our subscribers once a month. We haven't turned down a single question yet. If it takes us an hour and a half, 2 hours to get through all the questions they send in, we answer every
We've done a
single
couple
one.
people on the installment plan, though. We've had to spread them out over a couple episodes.
Yeah, yeah. So we get a lot of those. We have a section called "You Can't Make This Shit Up." We do a case of the month. We evaluate a crime-related TV show once a month with our narcometer. Gosh, it's
911.
oh yeah, 199. What's your emergency? One
My
nine nine.
emergency is I can't find 911 on my phone. I can find 9, but not the 11.
Oh, there you go. Okay, he used to be a Kansas trooper. So to all you folks in Kansas, we apologize.
Hey, check it out right there.
Yeah, yeah. He stole that when he left. You know that, right?
That came right off the side of my car. It was in wood.
Okay. Uh, did you see the thing I just posted on the Game of Crimes fan club on Facebook
No.
about you? I was just answering. I might have made a comment about something that somebody else posted on there having to do with Kansas Highway Patrol. Love you guys in Kansas. Not picking on you, picking on Morgan.
It's okay, man. We can take it because guess what? The first guy to catch quote El Chapo couldn't cut it on the highway patrol. He had to join DEA.
Hey, he had ambitions. What can I say?
We knew what was going to happen. So
Oh,
anyway, well, hey guys, let's bring this to a close. So we had a little bit of fun, but again, nothing fun about the content of what we're talking
right.
about this week. So it's Ken Mead, and he's the lead investigator for the Route 91 Country Music Festival, Route 91 Harvest, the Country Music Festival, October 1st, 2017. 58 people died, over 800 wounded. Now 2 more have died since then. But you're not going to. Again, I just can't overstress this. I suppose I could, but I'm not going to. But I'll do it one more time. You're not going to hear this interview anywhere else.
That's right.
Nowhere else. Only one place.
Right here on Game of Crimes. Ken Mead, thank you so much, brother. You're a hero in our eyes. You always will be.
Okay, guys, don't go nowhere, Murph. Hang on for a second. Everybody else, peace out.
Thanks, everyone.